So I have one small piece of advice for you that comes from learning this over fucking up the process many, many times and eventually learning from doing that. Okay, so something I hear a lot from people is that you can imagine, you can feel in your body a place that you felt a lot more comfortable in your body than you do in this moment. You can like imagine maybe you were stronger and you had more physical strength and you miss feeling that strong, looking fit. Or maybe there's a place like 10 pounds from here that you feel really comfortable and really confident in, and you know that that's a really great set point for your body, right? Like, you know, maybe you can imagine, you visualize, you feel this place is like pretty tangible for you. And that's extremely common, right? Like, that's really normal to feel that way, to almost have this like you're missing or you're almost like mourning this body of yours that felt better than the body you're in right now. And it's something that we all feel. It's something that most of us have felt many, many, many times in our lives, right? Like that starting again feeling of like, I'm gonna get back to that place. I'm gonna do it again. I'm starting today. I'm gonna do it. And then you end up feeling like you can't do it when you don't do it, right? Because that just reinforces the fact that you feel like you're never gonna get there. So all that's extremely normal, extremely valid, and something that most of us experience many times over in our lives. Now, what I want you to know is that it's entirely possible for you to get back to that point. And the good thing too is that there's lots of ways for you to do it, right? But what happens when we have that picture, that like laser focused vision, what happens is that we get really, really attached to that result, right? And like, it's okay to have a goal. Like it's actually preferable to have a goal, right? Like most of us, trainers, people in fitness and stuff will be like, you should have a SMART goal, like make it be specific and timely and whatever. And I think that's great. And I think that's a matter of personality in certain ways. Like if you're somebody who is really goal oriented and you operate really well in that way, then that's important for you to understand. But I also think it's important to understand that being like invested in and emotionally attached to like a result can end up being something that can drive you crazy, as you probably know, right? Because if you're not getting there, it can make you feel like, whoa, I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing anything, I'm doing the wrong thing, which could be the case. Like, let the grain of salt here, could be the case. But I think if you look at the process and you switch your thinking from being laser focused on the goal to being laser focused on executing the process day to day and just saying what you're gonna do today counts and what you're gonna do tomorrow counts, and each day you're executing, over time, that's gonna be something that gets you results, okay? So like when you look at the process, this is what I want you to do. This is like your little takeaway. If you look at the process of whatever you're doing, right? Like, so you have this weight loss goal or you have this strength goal and you are using some sort of method to get there. There's a process, right? Maybe you're doing Beachbody and ketogenic diet, right? Like, I'm not gonna judge your process here. Yes, I think you should be lifting weights at all, like we should all be lifting weights, but that's a side note. Your process for getting there, I want you to ask yourself, like, would you do this anyway if it wasn't gonna get you this results? Okay, would you do this anyway if it wasn't gonna get you the results? And I look at that as joy, enjoyment, just like having some sort of investment and like liking the things you're doing in some way, is, I don't know a better way to say that, is really important in you being consistent and in you being adherent to the thing that you're doing, right? Like, you're not gonna adhere to something if you hate it. If you can laser focus in on a goal and just like push through the shit, like, that's your choice. Like, I'm not saying that that's the wrong thing to do, but I think it's worth asking yourself that like, okay, this process that I'm doing, these things that I'm doing to get to this results, like, this is your life that's happening right now. So like, maybe you have a goal to be like, lose a bunch of weight or lose a certain amount of weight, and it's going to take you a while, right? Like, are you cool with that being something that you really dislike the process for? And then at the end, are you going to be able to maintain that because you have to do the same things that you really don't like? Or are you doing something that you actually like and you look forward to, and you like the food you eat, and you like the the workout plan that you're doing, and you like the type of training, and you like your instructor, and you feel like this is something that you could do 20 years from now. When you close your eyes, you can see yourself still doing it. So I'm not saying that like you need to love every piece of everything you do in terms of your fitness and nutrition, but I think it's worth asking yourself, would I be doing this anyway if it wasn't going to yield me a specific result? Because that's a really good way to know if it's something that you're going to be doing to maintain the result. I have seen so many people, myself included, people I love and am very close to included, do the like grunt work to get to the goal and then realize that it takes to, you have to maintain that grunt work to maintain the goal, right? But if you can be in a process that is enjoyable and still effective, right? Maybe it gets you results a little bit more slowly. Maybe over time you realize you're less emotionally committed to that specific result because you realize that you're creating a lifestyle that's manageable and it's fun and it's enjoyable and you like being healthy. Would you still be doing it if you weren't getting that result? I think it's important to ask yourself that question. That's just a little bit of food for thought for you today. And if you watched this far, thank you. I appreciate it. And I hope you have a fantastic day.
Thanks.